Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for January 2022. We're going to jump right in here, Pisces, and we are going to see what I like this already. This looks pretty good. So we are going to see what is coming in for you at this time. I definitely feel you are going to want to start the year kind of strong. Of course, it's a very good year for you, Pisces, but this Queen of Wands, she really asks us to be brave, to be bold, to be assertive, to really go for the things that we desire to have. So, that's what I would say here. So these are going to be the messages that are meant for you in 2022, for January 2022. You have this amble with contentment card. It says, waiting rather than acting is going to be most advantageous right now. Conflicting energy is what I'm going to say to you, Pisces, because Strength card and the Queen of Wands. I mean, Strength card is patience, but Queen of Wands and Eight of Wands is like charging forward. What I would say is that you do have the Knight of Cups here. And the Knight of Cups is definitely a card of dreaming and daydreaming. And you have the Ten of Cups as well. Really nice, a beautiful reading. But I do feel some of you, it might be a good time for you to kind of more be dreaming at this time. Again, your year, I would say, is probably really going to kick off like after the 23rd. So more towards the end of January. That's when things are really, really going to start kind of amping up for you, Pisces. And things are really going to, the energy is really going to kick off. I mean, it's going to be super busy for you in the month of February as well. So and then the rest of the year. So, it makes sense to me that maybe the beginning of the year, it's kind of like more of a time for dreaming or, imagining the things that you desire to have, kind of getting clear on your vision. You have the Strength card, the Queen of Wands, and the Eight of Wands here. There is a very strong focus, especially in this bottom row here, Pisces. You have the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Swords to the Nine of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands is not really, it is a card of focus. It's a card of quick success, and it's a card of conclusions as well, bringing things to an end. I would also say for you, Pisces, that this is a very busy reading, and going in this direction right here, Eight of Wands, Knight of Cups to the Ten of Cups, that would make the Eight of Wands all about socializing as well. So for a lot of you, very strong social energy. A lot of you could be socializing, spending time with people who are important to you at the beginning of this year, which would also be a good idea. I think strategy would be a good idea. That's definitely popping into my head. If you have like a business or a career, or if you need a strategy to do something, now is the time for planning. Again, I kind of get that feeling that now is the time for dreaming for you, Pisces, because it's like, I feel like the dreams that you put down right now are going to turn into something very, very amazing in the near future. I just don't think you realize how quickly things can change for you as well. You end with this all is connected card, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, but I kind of feel what this all is connected card is saying is like you don't realize all the work that you actually have been doing behind the scenes in your life. A pretty big picture reading as well. We're going to clarify this. First row, that's basically, look at this, cards are flying. Page of Cups wanting to fly out there. I don't take pop outs, but the Page of Cups is popping out. And you do have the Hangman and the Knight of Cups here, so could be a water sign, another Pisces coming in for you here. Pisces. That's all I'm getting for the first row. With the Strength card, you have the Seven of Swords. Exactly what I was talking about. I was like literally saying strategy, and he is stealing those swords from an army right here in the background of the card. This card, it can be a card of lying, cheating, stealing, of course, but, that's like, basic tarot. To me, the Seven of Swords is much deeper than that. It can represent doing something carefully, taking care of something. He is stealing those swords so they can't be used against him in battle the next day. So he's taking them away from those people in the background. And I got that for you. That's why I said strategy a couple minutes ago, is because I do feel it is going to, like, strategy is going to be very important. Your strategy could be very freaking simple as well. I think the universe just wants you to say it, to put it down on a piece of paper. Maybe you want to grow a YouTube channel, and maybe your strategy is to do one video a week. It doesn't matter how much it is. That's the thing. I think that this is just the universe saying, okay, make the agreement, pay the price, and then you will be successful. It's like we have to kind of make the agreement with the universe first. We have to say, I'm willing to do this much work. This is what I will do. And then if we stick to our word, the universe gets out of the way. The universe says, well, they're doing exactly what they said they were going to do. So, I'd say make it easy on yourself, number one. But number two, I would come up with a strategy here, especially for those of you in work or business. Again, I said that. And then the Seven of Swords comes out. Seven of Swords also is kind of like a card of balance. He has polka dots on his cloak, Pisces. And the polka dots in the tarot represent needing to have fun, needing to do things that you enjoy. So make sure that you are also adding some fun and enjoyment into your life for 2022, not just January. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles. You can have whatever you want. I have that song from T.I. popping into my head. You can have whatever you like, right? And so I feel for some of you, it's like you can have whatever you like, or you can have whatever you want. I think you just need to kind of dream it and make the dream a reality, Pisces. And that's exactly what I would be doing with that Ace of Pentacles. Next week, I'm going to have a video on my other channel. Again, it's crazy to me. And again, I'm not saying this to brag or anything like that, Pisces. I'm saying this to hopefully inspire you. On this channel alone, just like what I've been able to accomplish in the last year. And you'll see the video next week on that channel if you're interested. I'll post it somewhere. But like some of the stuff that I'm building out here in this studio is all just because I thought it. I wrote it down on a piece of paper, literally, and that's all I did. And I just kind of made what I was feeling, thinking a reality. And it took time, and I'm not very patient, but I did it. And I feel like that's what you are going to be doing this year. Again, I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this because I feel like you could create a lot this year. I feel like you could manifest a lot. Ace of Pentacles is kind of like, what do you want, And look at this, 8 of Wands, Empress. Clearly, we know it's a good year. Jupiter entering to your sign, of course, but Empress, damn. Pisces, this is like a never-ending source of abundance. I would also make sure that you're not limiting yourself to limiting your manifestations. If I learned anything in 2020 and 2021, it's to not put a number on things. I think it's okay to say maybe you want to make $100 a day. Let's just pretend that's the number. Maybe it's more. What I would say is if you're doing affirmations, any of those things, say, I want to attract, $100 a day or better, and that's what I would do here. I think I wouldn't say want, by the way. I never say want. I would say I intend to attract $100 a day or better. I also like to add for the highest good of all or something like that to the end of my affirmations, because it's like the universe, we have to look at it as a cycle. We're constantly giving out and taking, taking, receiving, giving. As long as you're coming from that place, then you'll just attract never-ending abundance. The Empress is never-ending abundance because she has this waterfall behind her here. And that waterfall represents her understanding that she comes from never-ending source intelligence, never-ending source abundance. And I really have been pushing you, Pisces, to do this, I know, for the last year. Because what Pisces needs to understand is you are the example for everyone else moving forward, until, I don't know, for a long time. So it's when people see you doing something, then they'll be like, I can do that. And it's that's how we're going to create more co-creative energy, 10 of Cups in your reading. And it's also how we're going to create, more abundance for everybody. We don't have to be in this competitive place, right? Next, you have this koi fish spirit says, there is always enough. What do you know? There is a never-ending source of intelligence, never-ending source of abundance, exactly like I said. So I feel you need to realize that it doesn't matter how much competition there is for something. It doesn't matter how much competition exists. Again, we are entering into a co-creative place. We're leaving competition behind. It's one of my favorite books of all time, The Science of Getting Rich. I would definitely recommend it. I listen to it all the time. I've listened to it 10 times in the last week alone. But in that book, the writer Wallace D. Wattles says that it does, the people who came before this time, basically, and this book was written a long time ago. It's they had the people the wealthiest people you can think of. It's they had to create their wealth through competition because it kind of paved the way for everybody to get into this place where we can be more co-creative as far as wealth and abundance is concerned. So it's everybody, there are a lot of people who hate rich people and people like Bill Gates and stuff like that. I don't like Bill Gates, but that's another story. But what I would say here is that it's not about that. It's they kind of paved the way, and they, if they've done evil things or whatever, they will pay. But it's now it's time to get to this co-creative space where we can create more abundance for everyone. And that's what this card is saying. I also feel this card is saying small wins. If you can focus on just having those tiny little small wins every single day, you are going to be very successful. You have the Hangman, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Swords in this row. More delay energy with the Hangman. This is you. I do feel like you're ready, though, Pisces. I do see you kind of like, I kind of see myself like lowering myself into a hot tub is how I feel about this. It's like, you're gonna like it, right? It's like when I was a kid, I remember there was like a Bugs Bunny cartoon where I think it was Bugs Bunny where he was like lowering into a hot tub and he was like, easy does it, easy does it. My brother and I were obsessed with that when we were like 3 years old, right? But I kind of have that playing in my head right now with this card. It's like you're trying to lower yourself into a hot tub, like literally, and maybe it's hot, but it's like you're kind of getting used to the energy. That would make sense. It could be like you're raising your vibration. If you're becoming more successful, your vibration is raising. It's like you have to get used to that raise in vibration. I'm getting like ascension symptoms here as well. Like, again, I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice, but I'm getting like heart palpitations, things like that. Those could be ascension symptoms. Obviously, take your heart seriously and go to the doctor if you're having problems. But, what I would say here is that there could be some other ascension symptoms that you are experiencing. The Knight of Cups could be a knight in shining armor. I definitely feel love coming in for you this year in general. Pisces, I think it's a really, really good year for you. Even with the Venus retrograde, doesn't matter because even this Venus retrograde, believe it or not, Venus is retrograde, but it's like really freaking good for you for love, even though it's retrograde. Doesn't matter. So it could be a really good time for love. It kind of but it doesn't feel. It's kind of weird because my feelings for you as far as love are concerned right now, this could change later on, of course. My feelings right now are just not so, like I feel like it's not maybe a major priority. If it's here, it's here. If it's not, it's not. That type of thing is going on here. Obviously, if you're already in a good relationship, then, stay in it. Things are going well. But for those of you that are single, it's like I don't see it as, I think you're attractive at this time. Empress, nice. But maybe it's not a priority. There's definitely a victory here, but I feel with this koi fish spirit and this Ace of Swords, very simply, that it is talking about small wins. Small wins are like maybe you could make your bed in the morning. Maybe you could do 10 push-ups when you wake up in the morning. It's like those are small wins. I would be trying to have as many of those small wins as you possibly can. It's like even if you're manifesting as well, I always tell people, it's like if you're writing affirmations, you should be writing affirmations of things that you know are going to happen. It's like sometimes I wake up in the morning, I do scripting, and I'll like literally write in my script that I'm going to brush my teeth because it's like it gets your brain used to the fact that you're manifesting something, and it doesn't matter that it's something you're going to do anyway. So I would be doing that. With the Hangman, you have the Seven of Cups here. Seven of Cups is like a card of too much thinking here, Pisces. This could be why there are delays. I'm a Pisces, and I am a chronic overthinker, so I don't know. maybe you are too. I just get an overthinking energy because of fears. 2 sevens right next to each other. Internal fears that don't exist. Your outcome is a 10 of Cups. It's like, what's the freaking problem, Pisces? I would get moving. Anything you're fearing, I think it's just fears, anxieties, like thinking too much about all these what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? It could be holding you back from that 10 of Cups, happiness. Although I don't really see it as that big of an issue. With the Knight of Cups, you do have the Three of Swords. Again, I would watch your health. It kind of popped into my head, and heart as well. It's funny that I said the heart thing. Again, I'm not a doctor. Do not take this as medical advice, but, make sure to go to a doctor, obviously, if you're having serious health issues. But I also kind of see that as a separation because here's the thing, is that he is not crossing the river that is on that card. He is just staying where he is. He's also standing in the desert. It's like he needs to plant seeds. He could plant seeds right along that river. Even though he's in the desert, there's water there. He could grow things right along the water. And the Three of Swords is kind of like sadness because you're not. So I do feel a need to get moving, especially towards more the end of this month, Pisces. I would be at least planting some seeds, at least having some small wins. If you're feeling frustrated, fearful, anxious, then I would just take small steps, which is fine. With that koi fish spirit, again, the koi fish spirit is like small wins. So even if you're anxious or worried about something, take the smallest amount of risk that you possibly can that isn't going to affect you very deeply. Like if you're trying to grow a business, get into a relationship, whatever it is you're trying to do, I would be taking those small steps because I think at least then you're making progress. At least then you don't have to worry about that Three of Swords. Look at with the Ace of Swords, you have the Knight of Cups. This is like a victory for you in some sort of dream. This is crazy how this is laid out, but the Ace of Swords is a victory For some of you, this could be love coming in, and some of you could be thinking that there's gonna be a heartbreak when there really actually isn't. So that's what I'd say there. At the end here, you have this all is connected card. I feel like you're seeing everything that is, everything coming together. I see this more as connecting the dots. One of the best Pisces of all time, Steve Jobs, he said that you can only connect the dots looking back. You can't connect the dots looking forward. So, I feel for a lot of you, that's how I'm seeing this card. I feel like you're kind of connecting the dots with the all is connected card of like all the things that you've worked on, all the things you've created in your life. You have the 10 of Cups, the 2 of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles here. I kind of feel like 10 of Cups is fortune after difficulty and happiness, but I feel you need to leave this behind. He is standing at the top of the castle here on the 2 of Wands, and he needs to get out into the world. I like the 2 of Wands. It's a good card. It's a card of taking the lead, but he needs to leave his comfort zone. He needs to go experience something new. It's like the past is complete. This back wand here represents something that he has accomplished, and now he's reaching forward, grabbing this other wand, and it's like he needs to go and create something new. He needs to go experience something new. I feel that for some of you. For others, like I feel a very similar message to that, but I feel it's more like you're moving on to something new, as in what you've been doing up until this point has almost been practice, and it's like what you're about to start is like the real thing. So, just using YouTube as an example, it's like maybe you have a YouTube channel, maybe you're about to start another one. It's like the other one is going to be the real thing for you here, Pisces, with the 2 of Wands. It's almost like whatever you've been doing is practice. Same thing in business. It's like maybe you're leaving one business, going to another, leaving one career, going to another. I feel like whatever you're moving towards is the real thing. Same thing in love as well. It's like if you've left a relationship, I feel like you're moving towards something that's much more successful. 9 of Pentacles, I feel, is just the energy in it. I feel it's just saying that you have the energy to handle this and to take care of it. But amazing. Love it. With the 10 of Cups, you have the 9 of Pentacles. I really like that you have a lot of repeating cards in this reading, because repeating cards, it's kind of like saying that the energy is in alignment, especially when we have multiple cards that are repeating in a reading. It's just saying there is nothing else that Pisces needs to know. So 9 of Pentacles, you have everything you need to be very successful at this time. 2 of Wands, you have the 5 of Pentacles. Get out of your head, Pisces. This is like stinking thinking. 5 of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold, calling attention to your weaknesses. The 9 of Pentacles, twice. It's like she has weaknesses, but she doesn't pay attention to those things. She doesn't worry about those things. And I always tell people, focus on your strengths. It's like, that doesn't mean that you're not weak in some area. But as I always say, as a typical Pisces who is like a C student all through school, right? What I would say here is it's like, I think school teaches us like, oh, you have to be good at freaking everything, which is just impossible, right? It's better to be the best at something, at one thing, than it is to be good at everything, right? And, I always give the example of doctors. It's like I knew this doctor where I used to live, and he was like a vein specialist. He literally just only worked on veins, people's veins. And he was like richer than, I don't know, anybody I've ever met. So, what I would say here is it's like it's better to be a specialist than it is to, kind of focus on like being good at everything. 9 of Pentacles, it's like she is independent because she knows exactly where to put her energy. She has 6 pentacles on one side, 3 on the other. It's like this is what she's willing to give to a situation, is 3 pentacles worth of energy. But she's also, as Zig Ziglar would say, I'm just going to drop knowledge today. As Zig Ziglar would say, she's a meaningful specific. Zig Ziglar said it's better to be a meaningful specific than it is to be a walking generality. And that 9 of Pentacles that's what I feel like that's saying. With the 9 of Pentacles, you have these 7 wands. It's like once you make up your mind about something, the universe is going to get out of the way. That is the message of your reading. It's like the universe is saying, Pisces, make up your mind like about what you want or about what you want to create in your life. And it's like once you do that, the universe is going to get out of your way. It is just that simple. So this is a pretty good reading. I actually kind of like this for you, Pisces. I feel like there are good things coming in for you. And it's pretty simple. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.